Oh.
What's gonna happen?
Dude. Well, that's weird. So when I met Lindsay, was hanging out with Lindsay, we were actually inspired to do that because someone gave a presentation and stated that they start every meeting with an ohm.
With an ohm.
So we are going to be extra fired up for this episode of Life on Fire TV because we started with an ohm, and I'm here with who else but the woman who is the physical representation of a life on fire, someone that's just kicking it, crushing it, and just living out her dreams and running around in a romper. I mean, who wouldn't love that?
Just romping all over
just
town.
romping around. And so Lindsay Hawley, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good to be here.
Boom. We practiced that like 9 times. But so cool. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Feeling good.
Not as good as the camera guy who just poured himself some
Juice.
some juice.
Definitely juice. Just
Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you are meant to be, to make more money than you ever thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire.
We got some cool stuff to share with you guys today. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to basically we're gonna take a tour through Lindsay's life a little bit, and to just to highlight some of the things on how you went from wherever you came from the past to how you're living life now. But what I love about Lindsay is that she's a woman that has a dream, has a purpose, and you're just literally just do whatever your heart desires, and you just follow those dreams relentlessly. And I think that's super inspirational for everyone, because that's what Life on Fire is about, is helping you figure out what is your purpose, what is your passion, and then giving you guys the tools to go out there and get it. So you're going to hear Lindsay's journey, and then also some of the tips about how you too can set up your life on fire. And we're going to also talk about how we just teamed up and we just partnered together, hired Lindsay and her event planning company, and we've got an awesome, amazing event coming up. So we'll share some, I guess, a little behind the scenes on that.
A little peek behind the curtain.
Little peek. So so to take us back, so let's hear about just some of the background. So kind of where you grew up. Any hardships you may have had, and I want to kind of pull out the story. I call it the hero's journey. It's where did you come from, and then let's lead that into where are you now.
Awesome. Well, it's interesting that you call it the story, because that's sort of been, what I spoke about at the Life on Fire event that we did for 100 foster youth about a couple months ago. And it really is about how you turn your story or how you turn a hardship into what your story is. And is that a victim story or is that a hero story? And I love that you just referred to it as a hero story, because that's really what I've done with my life. Everybody has a story and everybody's been through something in their life, and you can take it as a positive or you can take it as a negative. And in my life, I grew up, an only child, grew up with just my dad. My mom was addicted to drugs and living on the streets and was really kind of a toxic influence on my life. So a lot of my life was, giving myself the love that I needed, taking all the parenting one parent could give me, but then sort of raising myself in a lot of ways. And with that came a lot of options to either go one way or another. And I really am on a journey towards creating amazing possibilities, not only for myself, but for other people, networking with amazing people, partnering with amazing people, helping other people build their businesses. And that's what I do with my business now, LMH Promotions, is help people build their businesses, tell their story, get their event or their brand or their cause, the attention and the support, the awareness that it needs. And, through my life, I've taken all of my trials and tribulations and used that as motivation and fuel to then give back and create something really amazing because of it.
And I want to touch on that. So basically, I think that this is such a huge, teachable moment, if you will. And this is something that's just amazing to highlight in your life and how it can help other people, is that, like you said, everyone has something in their past, and some worse than others. But, how do you perceive that? Is that something that's negative? Is that something that continually haunts you? To pull up a really awful example would be, if a woman was raped in her life, that sometimes that what'll happen is that from there, they might rape themselves in their minds 100 times a day for the rest of their lives. And it haunts them and it ruins them versus, taking whatever it is from your past, and every one of us have something. And then it's like, how do you pull the positive out of that? So we're going to ultimately touch on the 4 pillars of a life on fire. So we've got mindset, marketing, networking, and purpose. And so how about mindset? So did you just naturally able to take, your, let's call it a hardship or, your situation just to pull the positives out? Or was there, tips that you can share with us, or something that you read, or just how do you get your mindset to overcome that so quick, naturally?
Well, I wouldn't say that I've overcame anything other than, just living every day, waking up every day is overcoming something. So, and everybody does that. What I've done is really just embraced opportunities.
Okay.
So rather than feeling like I overcame, I feel like I've incorporated everything into my story, and along the way just seen the opportunity to turn it into a lesson. So, with my mom, I could have been like, oh, she didn't love me, I must not be worth anything. So I'm just going to party and fill this void with drugs and sex and whatever else is an instant gratification. But instead, I saw the way that she lived her life, and I thought, well, I want more than that, and I know I'm capable of more, and I'm not her. So it motivated me to go the opposite, to start my own business, to be independent, financially and emotionally, to not need substances or men or, whatever it is that people use to kind of a crutch really for feeling inadequate. I've sought out challenges in a way to test myself as well. So it's like, okay, I've been through so much, what else can I take on? And then how else can I turn this into a blessing or something that's going to help other people? And it's like taking something that could be seen as a negative and transforming it. You take the power back.
Right.
And I'm sort of, a junkie when it comes to that. It's like, how much can I do? How much can I take on? How much control can I have over this situation to make it better? And that's the way that I've seen of overcoming, I guess.
Okay. So cool. So you came through that situation, and then so take us into, how did you get into, the business that you're in today? And then just tell us about kind of what you do.
Well, I started out doing events in San Francisco, working for more of a nightlife, music industry events company. And it was around the time when social media was first becoming even a buzzword in the marketing industry.
Darn kids were doing all day, tweeting around.
I was on MySpace all day, and was really getting the hang of it, like most 17, 18-year-olds. And when I was about 19, I just approached an event planner and said, hey, I want to work for you, and I'll be your assistant and do whatever. And I basically taught myself how to create a promotions campaign using online press releases and MySpace music pages, and then Facebook, and then Twitter. And then from there, I realized, hey, everything I'm doing here, I can do really for anything. All businesses need it. And I love doing cause campaigns. So promoting good causes and community groups out there that are doing amazing things and spreading awareness through the internet, the interweb, So I just went business to business and soliciting my services, and was that annoying girl with my, notebook and my, thrift store blazer and walking around with flyers being like, come to my, workshop on how do you do social media for business. And once I gave them the presentation, they were like, this seems confusing. Can you just do it for us?
There you go.
Thus, LMH Promotions was born. So it was almost by accident, really. But I mean, a happy accident, and it's evolved in so many ways. And I couldn't be happier with the direction my business is in now.
And so tell us about, so I think you touched on, the fact that you love working and doing events for causes. So there's a couple things. So I think what's cool is like you're providing a service that every business needs. And so whether it's putting on events or promotions, it's like there's your value you can express in, look what I did for this event, look what the results were, and boom, you can package that and resell that again. And then tell us about how you made that decision to weave in causes, and where did that come from?
Oh man, that's the juicy stuff. So I started, my business about 5 years ago, and about 2.5 years in, I was getting notoriety for working with big brands, throwing these massive Hollywood parties and VIP hosting and all of this and that. And I had job offers to move to LA and work with top-notch event companies, and I was achieving this success. And in the eyes of most people, that would be like the direction to move in and everything you could possibly want.
Sure.
But I really wanted something that made me feel like I was using my gifts, my talents, my skills to change the world, and as altruistic as that sounds, it's, it's really what I feel like I'm put on this earth to do. So being able to follow my passion, which is helping people and creating opportunities for people, and being able to do that through my business and through my work, merging the two, kind of seeking purpose rather than just profit, that really was the catalyst to make me merge the two. And I read Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh. I read Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson, two of my idols. And I was really shaped by those principles and those ideas of making it big because you have the right goal, the right purpose, which is to, do something more purposeful.
Yeah. That right there, I mean, that's a big part of, having you here today is because you're someone you've gotten that clarity and that alignment, so things are coming together in your life. And I love that you're doing stuff that you're good at. We just had a great interview with Suzanne Evans, and she was like, I was asking her how she looks at purpose and this and that and passion, and she was like, just do stuff you're good at. And it sounds like you found your niche, you found what you're good at, you drill down into it. And that's just one thing that it took me, 12 years as an entrepreneur to finally realize, like, purpose made all the difference in the world versus money and all that stuff, because that's never going to really, you can't buy yourself happiness. And so, tell us about what you're doing with the cause marketing. So I think for me and a lot of other people on social media, you see Lindsay traveling all over the world, romping around with Richard Branson and Tony Hsieh and high profile people all around, with your event planning company. And how specifically, what's an example or two about how you do tie those projects back to causes?
Well, yeah, it's funny that you mentioned those, because the way that I got to work with my idols, Richard Branson and Tony Hsieh, and other people like yourself who are doing amazing things, is because I have implemented so many purposeful campaigns into the LMH Promotions clientele list. They don't make the most money, but they make the most impact, and that's what I followed within myself, was how I could make the most impact. So the way that I've sort of merged the two is, looking for clients who maybe don't have a big budget. Maybe I'm working for them for free, but it gets me, a board member's business that needs help with their social media. So a lot of times I'm not looking for the highest price tag. I'm looking for the highest purpose value add. Huge. So it's funny because the more I give, the more I get, and there's no truer truth in the world is the more you give out, the more you get. So I'm not saying go around and give everything away for free, but if you find a project that really speaks to you and really moves you, you can make it happen along with finding jobs that will pay your bills. So being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you're always looking for the biggest buck, the biggest bang for your buck. It's about really doing things that light you up and light you on fire and make you really inspired, because that's what's going to get the attention of somebody who then is like, I want to work with you. And then they're going to be like, how much can I pay you to get you to come work with us?
That's awesome. I think that's such a great lesson for everyone. And that's something that we call it the anchor client strategy of going out and getting that influential client. I did it in my Facebook business, and it changed everything. And I think that the perception that has been built around you and your brand, with the high profile clients, it changes how people view you. And I think that also changes how much they would perceive it would cost to work with you, which is a good thing. And the fact that to be inspired every day by the projects you work on, that's so freaking crazy and cool, and I'm so fired up to share what we got going on, because it's so much fun.
Yeah, I had a meeting last night at 10 p.m. Up in Encinitas, which is a 25-minute drive from here, and I'm at the meeting. It's 11 p.m. and I'm like, well, I got to get back, and they're like, oh, going to sleep, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go edit some video, just. I told the girl that I'd help her with a fundraising campaign, and I was like, oh, I'll edit your video. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll not be sleeping until 3 a.m., but that's fine, And this morning I was so jazzed to send her the video, and, I only slept for a handful of hours, but I feel energized because I'm, doing things I love and working with people I love and totally fulfilled. And
that's it. You're in alignment doing what you love. So, so tell us also about just marketing in general. So, I think what's cool is that your experience in event planning, but what would say are some tips you can give these guys as it relates to marketing? Whether it's how to put on events or where you see the most impact, social media events, but what would you give for some tips on marketing?
Tips on marketing. I would say think outside the box. That's definitely how I've differentiated myself as a consultant, is coming up with more creative ideas. Not to say that you should rewrite the wheel entirely, but looking at the wheel and saying, well, how can we add some flair? How can we add some glitter,
maybe
glitz
like
and glam.
some chromes,
exactly, or some streamers or flames coming out the back. Don't be afraid to be weird and different. Don't be afraid to, really step outside your comfort zone and do something that you've never done before, because you never know if you're going to strike gold and have the best fundraiser or the best product launch or the best campaign you've ever had just by trying something new. And if you see somebody else that's doing something similar to what you want to do, reach out, see if they want to partner up. I'm always telling people, especially in a community like San Diego, where it's like a very large, small town, work with people who are doing things that you like to do, because you'll get double the attention, double the pull, especially with marketing. And you never know if somebody else is going to come up with an idea you never thought of, and it could be a really successful campaign.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. I love it. Now, this one will be cool. Is the next pillar is on networking. So what are some tips and things that you do to elevate your brand, to network with the right people, and create all kinds of these opportunities? And how does that all happen? How do you end up on the island with Richard Branson, in a cave and taking photos? And, what I mean? How does that? Feeding the lemurs, romping around.
I wish there was some juicy secret that I had that I could.
We're looking for the magic pill.
I know. I wish I could pass out the magic pill. It would just make the world so much better.
I'll take two.
But it's really just like I said, being creative, thinking outside the box, not being afraid to take risks. And I put myself out there a lot. I really, have opened myself up on social media. I've really, been honest about things that I believe in, or causes that I stand behind.
Slightly controversial.
I tend to be slightly controversial, and some people might think that that's shocking and I shouldn't do that, but it's working for me. There's some people that might be turned off by the fact that I'm too honest, but that's not who I want to work with anyways. So I really have opened up so many more doors by being vulnerable and sharing things about myself that people might not normally share about themselves, saying things that most people might not say, but not being, apologetic about my opinions, and being a strong woman and a business owner, and really standing behind my identity, and reaching out to people. I'm not afraid to just say, hey, what's up? I see you're doing something really cool. I'd like to be involved. I'd like to help, or, let me know if there's anything I can do, or asking someone else for help, for advice, reaching out to somebody and just saying, hey, I'd love to come to your event. Like, is there a way that I can volunteer and help with registration? Because I'd like to meet some of the people that are there. I mean, like I said, thinking outside the box, putting yourself out there, being creative, and not being afraid to, speak up. That's really all it is.
So, I mean, on the networking side, to just be comfortable being uncomfortable, reaching out to that person that is doing what you want to do, or is at that higher level that you want to be, and people you want to hang out with, and to do that. So, and then you just being you. At the end of the day, it's like, never try and be someone else. It's just like, let your own personality shine through. You're a little bit, you share the vulnerable sides of things. You've got a strong opinion. You love when men say things like, "Oh, you're just hanging out with Richard Branson because of
you look good in a bikini." yeah, that's right.
She loves that.
Love it. That's the only reason I got anywhere in life. Let's be real.
So, okay, awesome. And then I do want to touch on lifestyle. So, little lifestyle, because at the end of the day, making money. I mean, what I love is that you're building a business, you're following your heart, you're following your dream. It's also providing purpose, and you're giving back. So you're working on projects that are meaningful to you.
Right.
But just, what are, any tips you have as it relates to just living your life outside of just work? Having that balanced, full life on fire, having it all.
Yes. And that's something I really, really love and relate to with Life on Fire is I also believe that, even though we're so passionate about our businesses and everything that we're doing, we have to have time for friends, for family, for adventures, for traveling, for, days to just relax and be with yourself and work on the most important thing, which is like your inner peace or your happiness. And that's hard to do as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and hard to do when you're so passionate about something you don't sleep because you're staying up all night working and not eating. And it's really, like you said, a balance. And something that I found is I had a lot of people being like, what exactly is it that you do? I see you on Facebook traveling and doing this and volunteering at orphanages and no. And I'm like, well, a lot of times I'm usually just in my pajamas in front of the computer, like working on stuff, but you don't see that on Facebook. So I actually created a lifestyle blog called Live More Happy, LMH, Live More Happy, and really kind of separated the two, literally and physically, with myself, my business, and kind of my lifestyle. So my LMH promotions is consulting, events, staffing, and my business, and Live More Happy is travel and philanthropy and fun, and just I really kind of released the attachment to my lifestyle heeding some sort of ROI or results for my efforts, and really just being completely free and enjoying it. And I created livemorehappy.com because I realized how many other people wanted to have a lifestyle similar that allowed them to travel, allowed them to give back to the community, allowed them to, buy products or participate in events that, made some sort of a greater impact. So, I created a website, but still made it just fun, and I don't stress myself out about it. And
so
sort of the lifestyle that
when you want, when it feels right.
When it feels right, when I feel really inspired or somebody reaches out to me, I'm always happy to post events or post products or things that, have a purpose or align with our brand and our quality content. So it really, I haven't put any guidelines on it, and it's been really fun, and I've definitely found myself living more happy.
Living more happy.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Lifestyle is important, man. You got to have it all.
Before we dive into telling you guys about the crazy project that we have coming up, that's going to be so amazing for you and for all of us to work on or to experience. Let's do one fun little factoid, something that most people don't know about you. So it could be a random fact, it could be anything. Probably shouldn't be the stories we shared because they're weird. But it could be anything. What's something that most people don't know about you?
That most people don't know about me?
Do not know. A secret.
Oh, I'm so open. It's hard to think of weird things. I'm totally embrace the weirdness. Everyone knows that I'm a total Star Wars nerd and that I want to be Indiana Jones when I grow up. So that's just standard. But that tells a lot about me. I live in a fantasy land, but it's awesome.
Pacific Beach.
Yeah, Pacific Beach.
Neverland.
I grew up in Pacific Beach, which most people don't know, and that's very rare to find. And let's see, a weird factoid about me that most people don't know. If they don't know, I probably have it buried deep down inside somewhere.
That's what makes it so juicy.
So juicy, so juicy. Oh, I have a tattoo that says "What Would Love Do," which is very obvious, but most people don't know that it's Jason Mraz's handwriting that he wrote for me after we got a nice little hangout session at Sundance Film Festival. And I just gotten back from the Inca Trail in Peru, and I'd been inspired to do the Inca Trail. It's a 5-day trek through the Andes. Highly recommended if you're looking for some sort of a awesome life-changing experience. And so I got to talk to him about that, and I told him, hey, I wanted to get a tattoo to commemorate my experience and my commitment to living a life of purpose and consistently looking for something more to life that I can contribute. And I really wanted to get What Would Love Do? And it was actually a song that he wrote about transformation for a movie called May I Be Frank. That was about cafe gratitude and this guy that got off pills and became healthy and transformed spiritually. And I wasn't addicted to pills, but I definitely transformed in a lot of ways. And that song meant a lot to me. That movie meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And so Jason and I were chatting it up and hanging out. And he grabbed the set list and wrote Dear Lindsay, you are love. And if ever you should forget that, just ask, what would love do? And you are it. Love, Jason.
Snap.
So I took that piece of paper and got the actual
boom
handwriting.
See, there's something that most
kind of
people,
an awkward angle.
Most people didn't know.
Yeah, so I see it when I drive, I see it when I text, I see it when I'm typing, I see it all day, every day, and people are always asking me, what would love do? And I look at them and I go, I don't know, what would love do? What would love do?
What would it do?
Always, the answer's always different. That's the beauty of it.
That's true. That's the beauty.
Yeah.
What would love do,
so we
Eric?
both have secret, meaningful little inspirational tattoos.
I love having these crazy little inspirational tattoos. The one on my chest that is believed 2012 backwards was my inspiration to sell a business by 30, and it somehow manifested and happened, So tattoo yourself.
Magic.
It's easy as that.
Think long and hard about it first.
Well, sweet. So, all right, now I want to dive into what we have going on because we are just like mad scientists just planning out the most ridiculous high-value summits. And so basically what it is, it's called Life on Fire Summit. And so it's completely 100% virtual. We are going to bring together some of the most ridiculous speakers, world changers, influencers, and people that can basically just add so much value to your lives, to our lives, to anyone around that wants to hear their messages. So basically it's 100% virtual. It's going to be 100% free for you. And the way that we're setting it up is that we're going big. We're going out for some, very high profile speakers, authors, world changers. And what we're going to do is we're going to do all those sessions live. It's going to be a bit of a project to put all this together. That's why we have Lindsay here to help us, manage the whole thing. It's been awesome working with you so far. And so now we're at the point where we're going out, we're attracting other speakers. So tell us from your perspective, what fires you up about some of the speakers we're about to get?
I just think it's really unique. The different types of speakers that we're having, from authors to internet marketing experts to networking experts, people who are very inspirational in speaking or in mentorship or coaching. And so I think that like with everything, we're going to get a really wide variety of messages and information and inspirations, and kind of like with what both of us do, it's going to really deliver a wide variety of content. And I think that's going to be most interesting, and it's going to be fresh and changing and always different. And we're raising money to build a school in Guatemala.
Purpose. Super cool.
Through Pencils of Promise, which is a really amazing nonprofit based out of New York, and a lot of celebrities are endorsing it because it's so effective. They manage all of their finances really well. They run amazing creative campaigns, and they're just doing a lot to really bring education to places in the world where those opportunities don't exist. So literally creating opportunities for kids to go to school, then go on to college, become business owners, become inspirations to people in their communities as well. And bringing life-changing tools to people that wouldn't have it. So we're going to be raising
25 G's.
25 G's to build a school in Guatemala. 25
G's. And so guys, check out how crazy this is. So this is like you were talking about, you've got to give to, the more that you give, the more it comes back, right? So this is pretty crazy. I just kind of just a little quick tangent. I've been giving for a long time, and it comes back in different spurts, and you never know how it's going to come back. And I actually was at this men's prayer thing, and I asked these dudes for abundance, and they prayed for me, right? And crazy things started happening in my life. And this one guy, Dr. Matt, says, he's like, I want everyone to point out, why this is happening to Nick is it's not, you don't just ask for this stuff or just pray for this stuff and it just pours into your life. It's not a magic genie or a genie in a bottle or whatever, or whatever. But he was like, you've got to look at how much Nick is giving. The guy's got a show, Pay It Forward Friday, every Friday. He's going out and doing stuff for other people, and he gives a lot of his heart and time to people. And so that kind of hit me hard as how he was explaining it. And it's really cool. Good things are happening back. But what's crazy is that when I think back about just a couple weeks ago, we made this decision. We're starting this whole big event called Life on Fire Summit. We're going to feature all these cool speakers. We'll tell you how we're going to fundraise. And without having any of this stuff solidified yet, I personally guaranteed and signed a contract with Pencils of Promise. And what's crazy is that, I don't have a spare 25 grand under the cushion over there. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of our money's going back into the business, and we're trying to provide value for you guys. And so that was kind of a gutsy move, but I didn't think twice. It was a straight up I know we got this. And so the point is that the more that you give, the more that things come back. But since then, just by signing that document, we already guaranteed it's going to happen.
It's go time.
We're then going to fundraise for it, and I don't have any fear. It's we just know we're going to pull it off, but that adds a whole level of fire behind it because it's already guaranteed. And so by guaranteeing it, it allows us to fly to Guatemala in August. So as this event is happening, we still got to get one more ticket. I'm going to see if we can pull that off. But as the event's happening, that's going to be a crazy trip. So we're going to be able to not only get you guys content through Life on Fire and bring together some of the most remarkable speakers. Now, they haven't said yes yet, but the caliber of speakers we're going to get are people like Tim Ferriss, Tony Robbins, very high level folks, a full wide range. We want to cover speakers that we feel are going to help you get to your life on fire the fastest. So if you imagine, if there's 20 people in the world that we could assemble and say, all right, I think with these 20 people, we're going to help the most people live their lives on fire with purpose, passion, and doing what they love and making money and a business out of it. It's like, who would that 20 people be? That's what we're looking for. And so we're going big. We're being gutsy, reaching out to to these people. And so what will happen is, as we have them on the summit, anyone that simply enters their email is going to get full free access to these 20 sessions. And the sessions were going to be delivered live. We're going to be on camera, so we're going to be flying around where we can, because we want to network. We want to hang with these smart people, you know what I mean? So we're going to fly to New York. We're going to go be on camera with Adam Braun from Pencils of Promise. From there we might meet up with Gary Vaynerchuk and some other cool people. And while we're doing that, you guys are going to be able to simply enter your email and watch live, ask questions, and interact with these people. So that's where we're heading with it. It's going to be super fun.
I'm fired up just thinking about it. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I know. It's going to be such a fun project.
It's like having the Avengers of Advisors.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Oh, it's like our super team.
Yeah. And I think that's it's just a cool way to look at it. If you could put 20 people on Earth together and give, 20 live interviews with, it's like, who would those perfect 20 people be? And that's what we're assembling.
We're getting those people.
We're getting them. We're getting them for you. And so here's how it's going to work. So that the how we're going to fundraise is kind of creative too. So we're thinking outside the box. We're being a little bit unique. So what'll happen is, just imagine you see this beautiful looking page, all these amazing speakers, and it's like, wow, I enter my email, I'm going to get access live to these amazing 20 people that you quite frankly just don't get live access to. Very hard to reach people, influencers. And then what'll happen is you'll end up on another page, and that second page, the second page is what's called the thank you page. So picture you're registering for this live event, and then boom, it might be us popping on a video and we're saying, all right guys, thanks for joining us for the Life on Fire Summit. And here's what we have for you, very special, unique offer. We're then going to sell a product for $97. And that product is going to be a combination of products and services and even technology that's donated from these speakers. So like, we're going to give away a $1,000 course that we charge $1,000 for. We're going to have Lindsay give away content maybe on event planning and how she built her business. We're going to have maybe our video guys, like a tutorial on videos. We're going to have, just imagine Michael Burnoff or a Tony Robbins that has audio courses that they sell for hundreds of dollars. Maybe we get the MP3 recordings for that. A CRM from Mike Koenig. He has a thing called Instant Customer. It's how to do text message marketing. It's literally an entire software platform that normally costs $97 a month. What if there's a 90-day trial in there for you too? So we're going to make this thing so ridiculous, juicy, so that for $97, it would legitimately be worth thousands of dollars. Like we're making the goal to make it like a $10,000 value for $97. So what'll happen is we want to then make it such a ridiculous offer so that, of course, you and everyone else would buy it for $97. 50% of that, boom, goes straight to Pencils of Promise towards our goal of fundraising the 25 grand. The other 50% comes back and doesn't go in our pockets, but instead builds up the marketing so that we build more buzz about the event and more buzz about the cause, and that funds our advertising program. And so what we believe is that we're going to be able to have, I think, about 10,000 plus people that come through this whole thing to watch these sessions. And of that, I think we're going to get over 1,000 people that do it, raising, well over the 25,000 and giving us a big old marketing budget. So that is how we're building it. That's the plan. We're super, super excited. We got, logos coming soon. We got websites coming soon and speakers. So a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's going to be sweet.
But it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. It's on purpose. We're definitely going to change a lot of lives. And I think what's super cool is that out of all the things we could do to spend our time, this hits Life on Fire. We're making a huge difference. We're going to build a freaking school in Guatemala. we're not only going to do that, but we're going to showcase that. So imagine when we go there, we're going to have footage. We're going to be able to like document the process. And so anyone that buys that product for $97 is going to be part of that journey.
Yeah.
And they're going to see Guatemala, and they're going to feel happy that just by buying this product, they supported that. And imagine seeing the clips of the schools and what gets created. And I think what's cool is if you zoom up a little bit, there's a way bigger message here too. You know, it's like that we're showcasing and inspiring other people that you can have it all. You can like have a business that you love, you can help people, and you can make it all work at the same time. And I truly believe that by doing this, we're not just going to build a school, maybe 2 schools. I think what's going to happen is I think that it's going to be a ripple in the water that then creates more. It's like throwing a boulder, you know, in a still pond. Like, I think we're going to create ripples where I think other entrepreneurs, you know, maybe you get inspired to build a school that you get to, you know, have a cool plaque on, and you get to take that school and to put it in the honor of someone. Like Lewis House, he's got schools that are 3 of them he built. One's, you know, honors his grandparents, one his parents, and like, you know what I mean, to be like a part of it. But I think that there's going to be a whole bunch of other people like you that step up and say, hey, I want to build a school too. So I think this is going to be something.
We're not any more special than anybody else watching this video.
We're just fired up.
We're just fired up. Everybody has the capability of you know, creating amazing change in the world, or, you know, within yourself.
That's it. So going to be super, super exciting. Anything I left out or any other feedback about this crazy event that we have that we're putting together?
I don't know. You gave away a lot. I feel like we should just leave some surprises for everybody.
I think we should. We may have to leave a couple surprises in there.
There's definitely surprises in there, especially knowing me and Nick teaming up. We like surprises.
Yep. We're going to keep you on the edge of your seat and surprise you like crazy. So, all right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I know that there's been some awesome teachable moments, you know, that Lindsay shared and cool things that she's doing. We're going to keep you posted about the Life on Fire Summit, and we would love your participation and help, and it's going to totally be a game changer with content. And we're just super excited. We're about to take off and get out of this sweat box and
hit the beach,
the heat wave, and we're gonna do a little Pay It Forward Friday too, right?
Only if we can stop by the beach after.
All right, so you can also catch Lindsay for a Pay It Forward Friday episode as well, and that will be airing a little bit later than this one, so you're going to have to just stay tuned on the edge of your seat, but we're going to bust out of here to a Pay It Forward Friday. And guys, just always remember that for this particular episode, you can always come back to lifeonfire.com, and you can always catch up with all the resources. You dropped a couple really good books, 2 of my favorite books.
They're good ones. They're life changers.
They're total game changers. So you can get all the notes from this episode. You can see how to connect with Lindsay, and also let's do that too. So you are a riot on Facebook. You're gonna get all the updates. You're gonna get it all.
Never boring. Promise.
Never boring. So how do they connect with you on Facebook?
Lindsay M. Hawley, Lindsay M. Hawley, Hawley, and LMH Promotions is the Facebook page. Those are my initials, LMH, and Live More Happy is the lifestyle brand. So there you go. Together. You can find me. I'm out there on the web.
Awesome, guys. Well, again, lifeonfire.com. You can check out the notes on this episode, and we will see you guys very soon. We're off to go pay it forward.
Woo!
Boom!
Damn.
I'm here to help you set your life on fire.